Imagine lying in bed, staring wide-eyed at the clock as it ticks past 2 a.m. Your body is exhausted, your mind is racing, and that heavy cloud of stress settles in because you know the alarm is going to ring in just a few hours. This is the modern sleep crisis, a frustrating reality for millions of us who find ourselves tossing and turning, unable to find rest. We try everything to fix it, yet we often end up sitting in the dark, our faces illuminated by the harsh, blue glow of a smartphone screen, endlessly scrolling through feeds in a desperate bid to tire our brains out. The inevitable consequence arrives the next morning at the office desk, where you find yourself face-planting directly onto your computer keyboard, a spilled coffee mug cooling next to your mouse. We view this chronic fatigue as a personal failure or a flaw of modern lifestyle choices, but what if the root of the problem goes much deeper into our history? If we could travel back thousands of years, we would find a caveman with messy hair, holding a wooden club, looking completely relaxed under a vast, starry sky. He didn't have sleeping pills, blackout curtains, or white noise machines, yet he slept perfectly. The truth is, if we look at human evolution along a timeline, we see thousands of generations transitioning from that hunched caveman to the modern man wearing headphones, and during that massive journey, our environment changed drastically, but our biological wiring stayed exactly the same. To understand exactly where our nights went wrong, we have to look at a groundbreaking piece of scientific research. Imagine a smart historian wearing glasses, holding a large magnifying glass over a thick, dusty book labeled History, searching for clues about how humans used to live before the rush of the modern world. This quest takes us across a minimalist globe, focusing past the oceans directly to the African continent, pointing straight into the heart of the Kalahari Desert. Deep within this harsh landscape lies a small village of simple tribal huts, where communities still live a primitive, natural lifestyle, completely untouched by modern technology or artificial schedules. Scientists and anthropologists traveled to these remote areas, sitting on rocks with notebooks in hand, actively writing down observations of how these tribes interact with their environment day and night. What they discovered sent shockwaves through the scientific community, leaving researchers staring at the data with total shock, completely overturning everything we thought we knew about human rest. The secret to the perfect sleep lies in the natural rhythm of daytime and nighttime, a biological dance that modern society has completely broken. For these tribes, the day begins under a large, bright sun, with people physically active, running and moving through nature. Life is dictated by immediate, communal survival, where you might see people standing together, holding spears and discussing plans to track a deer for the evening meal. Others are bending down to pluck fresh berries from simple bushes, filling up woven baskets to feed their families. Their economy is beautifully simple, built on direct human interaction, like two people exchanging a handcrafted stone tool for a bundle of firewood. But when the bright sun finally dips below the horizon, a giant crescent moon and an ocean of stars take over the sky. There are no light switches, no neon signs, and no evening emails, forcing the entire community to naturally slow down, listen to the biology, and prepare to rest. But the real magic of the ancient night begins with the discovery of fire. Thousands of years ago, a human knelt on the ground, patiently rubbing two wooden sticks together until tiny, warm sparks caught flight. This didn't just provide warmth and protection, it created a social anchor, drawing people together to sit cross-legged in a perfect circle around a cozy, crackling campfire. In this safe haven, the night wasn't just for sleeping, it was for connection, as someone would stand up by the fire, waving their arms dramatically to share a story, while the rest looked up in awe. These stories often manifested as ancient folklore, represented by a monster drawn in a thought bubble above a listener's head, teaching the tribe about the dangers of the world. Yet mostly, the fire brought joy, allowing people to sit side by side near the glowing embers, laughing together with simple, genuine smiles, letting the stress melt away into the night air. This natural flow created a fascinating sleep pattern known as segmented sleep, which is completely different from our forced 8-hour block. When the sun set completely, humans would tuck themselves deeply under the blankets and drift into what history calls the first sleep. They would slumber soundly for a few hours, but then, in the dead of night, something beautiful happened. They would wake up calmly. There was no panic, no looking at a clock, and no anxiety. Their eyes were open but completely relaxed as they looked up at the stars during this midnight awakening. During this peaceful gap, a person might sit up in bed, drinking a warm beverage from a small clay pot, thinking deeply and reflecting on life in total tranquility. Couples would sit together in bed, whispering softly to each other under the gentle moonlight during what historians call the wake period, using this time for intimacy, prayer, or creative thought. After an hour or two of this peaceful wakefulness, a natural yawn would return, and they would crawl back under the blanket, closing their eyes for a deep, restorative second sleep. This two-part journey meant that at sunrise, people didn't need an alarm clock. They jumped out of bed with massive smiles, full of pure energy and morning alertness. So, what destroyed this perfect, natural system that kept humanity energized for millennia? The blame lies squarely on the shoulders of the Industrial Revolution, which completely ruined our relationship with the night. Suddenly, dark silhouettes of massive industrial factories rose against the sky, their huge chimneys blowing thick smoke into the air, demanding that humans work around the clock. The invention of artificial lighting changed everything, symbolized by the moment an old-fashioned street lamp post was turned on, instantly shattering the natural darkness of the street. Human beings were no longer allowed to follow the rhythm of the sun and the moon. Instead, a giant, heavy padlock locked humanity inside a rigid, 8-hour cage, forcing everyone into a continuous, unnatural sleep schedule to maximize factory productivity. We traded our peaceful, two-part night for a mechanical routine that our bodies never evolved to handle, leaving us tired, stressed, and chronically disconnected from our true nature. Now that you know the secret history of your exhaustion, the choice to reclaim your rhythm is in your hands, leaving us with one final question: are you ready to change how you sleep? And if you want to uncover more hidden truths about modern life, make sure to hit that subscribe button.